Good morning. How you doing, Mr. James?
I'm doing well, man. I can't go. It's hump day. Hump day. Yeah, man, we here.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you mean
here.
humping as in be here. Okay, good.
No. We're hump day in the middle of the week, man. You know, keep it clean.
Good for you.
This is a PG show. I think PG-13 or something like that.
PR rated. So what type of week you had?
Man, it's so far so good, man. Had a closing last night with one of our agents, Miss Dawn Killian. She's been on the show before.
Oh, she's a superstar.
Yeah, she is a superstar. So we trying to get that thing funded today, but another happy buyer. And, you know, we can't complain. The transaction went pretty smoothly. So anytime we can have a closing is a good day in my book.
It is. It's another buyer that's in a home. First-time home buyer?
Yes, first-time home buyer.
That's even better.
But not a last time.
That's double rewards.
Because she confirmed that she wanted to get into buying some investment properties. So I said, hey,
oh, really?
Let's do it again.
That's good.
Whenever you're ready, let's do it. I'm ready. So
Good game call.
We're excited about it. So
absolutely. That's really good. So interesting week, a lot going on. Where do we start on this week, James?
We can start with kind of what's been hot in the news so far. So this Kyle Rittenhouse, it is Kyle, I believe. Rittenhouse is on trial for the murder of these guys up there in Kentucky. Was it Kentucky? Wherever? No, Minneapolis. Wherever the riots were taking place. And right now the jury is out. They're deliberating his future. And I believe the fact that it started yesterday and they went through all the way to the end, had to go overnight.
In this entire sequence of events,
here we are this
from
morning,
the shooting of Jacob Blake.
I don't think it's looking good for brother Rittenhouse. I don't think it's looking good for him because if it was self-defense and they all agreed, they just say, hey, boom, self-defense, get him out of there, boom, boom, good to go. But the fact that it's taken this long, he might be getting the clank. That's just my opinion. Even though I'm of the mindset that he was defending himself, although he never should have been there in the first place, and those people probably wouldn't have been dead. He put him and inserted himself in a place to where, it wasn't his business, and it's kind of like you go into you jump into the cage with the gorillas, right? And then they beat you down, and you want to get mad and kill the gorilla, which they did that to Harambe, R.I.P. Harambe. But, it's like you shouldn't have been there in the first place, man. Yeah, I get it. They shouldn't have killed you, but, you shouldn't have been there. But nevertheless, I don't think it's looking good for him. I think he's going to be getting the guilty verdict, in my opinion. And the fake cry that I don't know if you saw that. He was crying on the stand. And I don't know if they went up there and told him, hey, man, you got to evoke some emotion out of the people. You got to make sure that they feel that you're remorseful. His tear ducts weren't cooperating with him because he just wasn't. Here he is. So he's giving his testimony, and he's trying to give a little bit of pushing his tears out. I think I might see a few building up a little bit in maybe the corner of his eyes, maybe. Okay, so he's talking. Oh, wait. Come on. Squeeze. Ooh. He's trying to squeeze something out. I don't know. It just didn't.
He's crying like that, and he's carrying an AR-15.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to cry. They should have given him something to help him out with.
Tissues.
An onion in his pocket or something. I don't know. Would have helped him out, but it wasn't a good look because he's been a meme since then. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's unfortunate that he's put himself in this position.
What's his defense? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've sort of seen it. I haven't really put too much time to it. I mean, do you honestly think that he was out there guarding the community, being a vigilante and protecting his community?
Well, he was.
Do you think that's a good enough reason to walk down a street with an AR-15?
Well, you can walk down the street with an AR-15 if you want to, because that's just your right to do it. The problem with this is he interjected himself in a situation that wasn't his business to go there. He didn't live there. And he got into a skirmish with these guys, and attitudes and tempers were flared, and people kind of got out of hand.
So do you think if he gets off from this case, it's going to set a precedent that anybody can just go into any situation with an AR-15 and shoot somebody, and you're doing the right thing?
Well, you keep saying AR-15 as if that's, if it was just a regular
yes, you can carry an AR-15.
If it was just a regular handgun, I mean, I think the circumstances would be the same. The fact that he had the AR-15, which is a rifle, which he was of age to carry, supposedly is what they're saying. I think that matters not. I think him putting himself in that situation as if he was going to be the protector and the server of justice.
But that's the police's job.
Huh?
That's the police's job.
It is the police's job. It is, absolutely.
So if he's not a policeman, then he's a vigilante.
Some could say that.
So what you're basically saying is that if I decide that somebody's having an argument down the street, and then I can grab my 9mm, make a decision on who I feel is the guilty party, and shoot them and kill them.
You can do that. You absolutely can do that.
But then you carry the consequences with it.
There you go, 100%. Now,
in the days when you used to do a gun license test, well, when I did mine,
right?
I mean, they say that you shoot it, you've got to be prepared.
You got to be
to evaluate the situation.
You have to be. Now, the way the law is written, though, I can defend your life as much as I can defend mine if I feel that it's in danger. So if someone walks in here right now and they want to try to do something, I would be justified to do that.
I couldn't agree with that more. But there's a big but with that.
What's the but?
He walked into a situation that he had nothing to do with.
That's my point. Right. That's my point. So that's where they have to wait.
So you're not defending yourself.
I'm not
You're jumping into that cage of gorillas.
There you go. You're jumping in there. That's exactly. So really, my deal with it though, I don't think he's gonna be getting off on that. That's just my opinion. I don't think he'll get off. If nothing but the mere fact that the jury is still deliberating about it, and they didn't come to a quick verdict together. So now the prosecution, they did have a guy up there and basically said he tried to grab the gun from the guy, which I think is stupid. You got somebody, with a gun. I wouldn't grab somebody's knife if they were trying to attack. I wouldn't grab at the knife. I wouldn't do that. I'd just get away. But he did admit that he grabbed the gun, and that's when, he got shot in the arm or whatever the case is. Look at this fool. He got his finger on the trigger, man. Look at him. I got a problem with that. He's in the courtroom pointing that gun at whoever he's pointing it at with his finger on the trigger. That is gun 101. You don't do that.
That's why you need a license.
And he probably doesn't have one. He probably
that's why we need a license in Texas or some sort of training or, I mean, I think it's pretty ridiculous when you drive a car. I mean, all fairness, you can kill somebody with a car and we have to pass a test for that.
Yeah. You do.
I mean, we've always been able to carry a gun if it's in our car, and we go into the bank and dropping money off, and I've got no problem with that at all. But
I think this is more about how invoking his privilege in a situation where
I think he's abusing his privilege personally. But
he probably shouldn't have been there, and now he's looking at
poking his nose in somebody else's business.
Yep, he is.
You poke your nose in somebody else's business, and you get your nose bitten off.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. I think they're supposed to start here soon. I think Minnesota's there about an hour or so behind us, so they'll probably be coming back in to restart
what was
the
this
deliberations.
Business where he had a lucky dip? He drew what did he do? They gave him a rolling bin, and he picked out so many people from the rolling bin. What's that
I didn't
about?
understand what that was about.
Was it a lucky dip or something?
I don't.
He gets to win the toffee apple or what?
I don't know.
Your life depends on the toffee apple.
They were raffling who decides the verdict.
So
because there's 12 jurors, not everyone decides the verdict though.
Okay, so that's the part where I'm confused because the whole purpose of the jury, right, was to get everybody kind of together on the same deal. But it's going to come down to how many are going to decide it.
Yeah. Because it's basically to stop, like, it's a random factor to, like, stop preemptive decision making, right? So you can't go in there and be like, I don't care, I'm gonna vote this guy guilty.
I'm done.
And then come to this, you don't get logged. So it's just another, like, random factor, I guess, to make it seem more fair. Does it make it more fair? I don't know, that's up for you. But that's what I think the intuition is behind that move.
That's an interesting kind of deal. And
so
they made him pick it.
Hold on. So I just want to sort of go into, obviously, Crypto Jack over there has sort of looked into it. So Jack, there's 12 jurors. So how many lucky dips do they get?
I think 6.
Well, that's an even number.
I mean, I'm also, like, just talking off my ass.
It looked like there was more than 6 sheets on there, but they made him pick pick your own poison.
When I first seen it, I'm like, what's this? What's the prize?
I was like,
30 years in jail? I mean...
Yeah, they made him pick the names. So he was kind of picking them out and lining them up on the table. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't know what this is about.
I mean, if it is 6, and we obviously don't know, that in itself is, to me, a silly number. You could have,
Well, then it would come up to the judge. The judge would have to make the call.
What state is this in?
Minnesota.
Do they have the death penalty?
You know what? I don't know. Let's see.
TikTok account.
That was a TikTok account that you had during the summer of 2020, correct?
Yes.
And it says your name on there, Kyle?
Yes.
Your username on TikTok was 4 Doors More Whores?
Yes.
And that's a picture of you there with your AR-15, correct?
Yes.
Why would you think that made it okay for you, without any advance notice, to bring this matter before the jury? I was astonished when you began your examination.
This judge was a little different from me, because he had several times where he got this emotional in this trial, and it's almost like, dude, is this guy related to you?
Is this your cousin or something?
I don't know. It was kind of odd. It was kind of odd to me to see how he acted.
Was that the prosecution attorney, or was that?
The
skinny
that
white
was the
dude
state
is the prosecutor.
The guy with the finger on the trigger, him. That's him.
Yeah.
That guy.
He's the prosecution attorney.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess we'll see. I'll tell you what, man. If it goes much, well, I already think that it's gonna be bad for him anyways. But going much further than today, it's not looking good for this dude. And of course they got National Guard or whoever kind of teed up, because all the riots and stuff that they're anticipating to happen if he happens to get off from the case. And that's unfortunate.
Whichever way you do it, I mean, that's in itself completely, screwed up.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous.
We're supposed to have the justice system.
It's supposed to work, but we all know that it doesn't work, quite frankly, the way that it should. But we'll see. That's
for another discussion, I guess.
It is. While we're in this court realm, another case is going on, that Ahmad Arbery case, the guys that ended up killing him back out in Georgia. Those 3 guys are on trial for his murder. Now, they were trying to be for a mistrial. You're not going to believe why. They wanted to keep black pastors out of the courtroom, is what they said. And the guy was basically just saying, we don't want any more black pastors coming in here. I think Al Sharpton spent the day going in for the trial, and he literally said, we don't need, this might even be the video clip where he says it, they've been in there. How many more do we need to come in here? We don't want any more black pastors coming in here. Which
consciously or unconsciously, an attempt to pressure or influence the jury. We don't want any more black pastors coming in here.
We don't want any more black pastors coming in here.
I I think I understand the spirit of what he meant, but man, that is not going to age well at all for him. Because he's talking about it, it's going to be swaying the jury one way or the other, blah, 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 so on and so forth.
Are they going to be intimidated?
Yeah, I guess, man. I don't understand. But anyway, the judge kicked that whole mistrial crap out, of course, because that makes no sense that being the case. Those guys hunted that guy down and shot him. And, we'll find out what their fate will be here soon. But I do know that there's going to probably be a parade of black pastors from here on out going into that courtroom just because that guy made that statement. So I think Jesse Jackson showed up the next day. So Glenn County, we talked about Glenn County before. That's the one where the lady had to sleep over and she was the only black lady at the party and they found her dead in the backyard of natural causes or something like that. Nobody knew anything. Same type of area, but nevertheless, man, this is another high profile case that is taking place in the good old state of Georgia. So we'll see, man, what happens. We'll keep you posted.
Unbelievable.
All right, what else? Oh, this is you talking about these teenage victims?
Yeah, there was apparently a teenage shooting the other day. I just wanted to sort of get your feeling on it.
Is that the one that was in Colorado?
Yes.
Oh man, that's where the other shooting was. The same place. See if they talk about it anymore.
I mean,
6 victims taken to the hospital in the shooting.
What's gun laws in Colorado?
They mirror Texas. I mean, I think they have a reciprocity agreement in Colorado. So it's basically the same with us.
So what's your feeling on making this a better situation?
Well, I don't know what the circumstances are with this one.
6 teenage victims got shot.
Right. Doing what? I mean, what's explained? Nobody should have been shot, of course, but I don't know what happened. I mean, what do you do?
This was one of the comments from Forbes breaking news. 6 teenage victims were taken to the hospital in a shooting in Aurora, Colorado, at the hands of suspects who are at large. The Aurora Police Department announced Monday afternoon, occurring just 3 miles from the Aurora movie theater, where a 2012 mass shooting that injured 70.
Well, here's my question. Why didn't this get national
And then there was
news?
somebody that lives in Denver that said, I work in Denver and didn't even hear about this today.
Exactly. Why didn't we hear about that?
Until finding this. And that's quite honestly why I put this in. Because I was on YouTube and
they're kind of picking and choosing what they're going to report.
And have you heard about this thing today as well, the Astroworld thing?
What about it? We talked about that last week.
100 people have got together and put a lawsuit together or something for $750 million. The largest lawsuit in history, apparently.
Oh, 100 people? They're going to all get $75? Or 7,500, whatever.
750 million. Did I say 750?
No, you said 750 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
But I hadn't heard about that. But this Aurora thing, man, this didn't make the news like.
And I go back to
you would think that it would
all the time. There's more mass shootings in this country than any other country.
Well, I don't know if anybody keeps up with. I only do
unless it's an official war zone. So we in an official war zone.
Speaking of war zone, Chicago is a bit of a war zone in some areas where people get shot. South Chicago, it happens all the time. So
South Chicago is.
It is,
but it's not a statewide thing. I mean, South Chicago is definitely, and that's what I think community involvement, I think, is important. I think the way them areas should be policed is different. And that's what I feel are the inadequacies of, and that's what I think the churches need to get involved in. And there's different community spirits, if you want to, or, resources is the best word to use. Need to get involved in it more.
Yeah.
Community policing, I think, is so important in situations like that, because nobody has the direct answers for it. But, when you get different instances like we've had with, mass shootings, then I think we've, got to look at it. I know we'd spoke earlier on, and I don't see it on the list. If you can bring it up, Jack, about the African lady that was found hanging in a tree. And the comments that was made about that. I thought that was pretty interesting.
You went off list. All right. What we got?
I'll just do. Yeah.
That was down in, I think I had it pulled up here. That was in Maryland.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, it was in Maryland.
72-year-old black woman found dead hanging from a tree in Maryland. And what did they say about this, Jack?
They said it was a report of an unintended death, and it did not appear to be criminal in nature.
Oh. Okay, so when we talked about this earlier, I said some guy from a year ago. This happened in Houston, not this, but do you remember in like 5th Ward, there was
something similar to
yeah,
this.
there's a black guy hanging from a tree.
Yeah.
And I think it was Art Acevedo at the time said it was intention or whatever, same
suicide
thing.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry. So apparently on the scene, when they took her down, and said it did not seem to be criminal in nature. Now, I don't know what 72-year-old women y'all know, but most of the ones I know that can't hoist themselves up in a tree.
I want to say she must have been a healthy woman to hold herself up there.
I mean, it's crazy that I don't know. I'm not saying that they closed the case or whatever, but they didn't release her identity in it. But
I just find it strange how you get a 72-year-old woman in a tree. She's got to be. I mean, that's just nuts.
And this is like a regular weekday, from what I understand.
The regular weekday.
Yeah, because it was school. Kids were walking by, trying to catch the bus. And you got this
I
lady.
know her, the lady hanging from the tree.
Man,
yeah, she's 72.
It's
really
ridiculous that it's been. I don't know, kind of stuff.
America, open your eyes.
This kind of stuff is happening.
It makes no difference whether you're black, white, or indifferent. I mean, come on.
Does it?
Definitely makes a difference if you're not white.
Right.
If you're white, you're good. Just chill.
But I mean, come on. What did you say? Natural causes or something?
It doesn't seem to be criminal.
Foul play.
Yeah. Oh, that's just regular. She did it herself.
Just another black person hanging from a tree.
I don't know. While we're in this, I mean, y'all may or may not have heard about it. I forgot what city it was in, but the cop was chasing a guy, and as he ran away, he shot at him 4 times, hit him 3 times, one in the back, one in the arm, and one in the back of the head, killed him. And before it went to trial, he made a plea deal with the DA, and the judge granted it. Guess how much time he's getting?
6 months.
3 years. Good behavior, he'll be out in 1.5, and just be done. And that dude is dead. Come to find out, they were looking for someone in a vehicle, and it turned down some street or something supposedly. And once they kind of got back on the trail, this guy was in a car that looked like the car, and they came at him, and he started running. He started running away from the cops, and as he ran away, the guy couldn't catch him, so he shot him. 3 years.
Well,
yeah, man. Yeah, 3 years.
Another point, well, guns aren't the answer alone, so.
Well,
they're not the answer at all, in my opinion, but there you go.
I'm
a hypocrite.
Shooting
I carry,
folks.
but only because I have to. And that's the problem. How do you solve a problem? It's like the rabbit's got out the box. That really is what it boils down to.
You got to train these cops, tell them to get in the gym so they can run and catch people rather than shoot
It makes
them.
the difference if they're cops or even if they're the public. They still need to be trained on how to, use the gun. I mean, it's the person pulling the trigger that's the problem. I mean, I take that. But at the same time, what are you supposed to do when you have a gun? Have a psych test?
Well, it's the cops. They should have gone through all of that. You would think that they were vetted.
Absolutely.
But nevertheless.
Anyway, moving on.
So Aaron Rodgers, of course, quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, he tested positive for COVID-19 a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and he had to be out for like 10 days. And then it came out that he was not vaccinated. Now, the NFL, I don't know if there was a heavy mandate that everybody had to, but they were pretty strict on them getting tested and or vaccinated. So in conversation, talking to this guy, the question was, were you vaccinated? And he says, I'm immunized. That's what he said, okay? Comes to find out
This is Tony Romo.
No. This was Aaron Rodgers, okay? He says he's immunized. Come to find out, after he contracted the disease, he's never been vaccinated at all. But his comment, of course, made it seem as if that he was. Now, if you take it for what it's worth, he said, I'm immunized. Was he lying? Probably not, but it is what it is. Now, and the game where Tony Romo was actually commentating, he was defending Aaron Rodgers' position in, I'm glad he came clean and, admitted what he did, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And not really kind of holding him accountable like everyone else and saying, hey, man, he just never should have lied. If you didn't do the vaccine, just say you didn't do the vaccine. And that way everybody can kind of take the proper protocols if they're around you. But now you got the disease, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So now Twitter and whoever else was coming for Tony Romo because he is not calling Aaron Rodgers to the carpet about his bad decision and him misleading people surrounding this whole vaccination piece of it. Now, my stance on the whole vaccine thing. I don't think it should be mandated at all. I know that companies are doing it, have done it. It is what it is. But what you shouldn't do is lie about it. If you're going to get it, great, get it. If you're not going to get it,
But can companies?
mandate?
Yeah.
Well, in the NFL teams, I think they had the
I know in
ability.
Texas you can't.
Yeah, they had the ability to actually do it.
I'm glad to say I've got some, good people in our office that have maybe had some circumstances and I've told them to just call me up and be honest, and they've called me and said, look, I've got this, or, and they've dealt with it, and we've sort of kept them out of the office,
right.
For a time just to make sure they're okay, because, obviously we care for one another. But the thing that I find so irritating about this issue, these are people that are earning millions of dollars.
Millions and millions of dollars. Yes.
And really, I just think there should be penalties, but the truth of the matter is you're the Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah, what does the Cowboys have to do with this, man? We vaccinated over there in Dallas.
No, Jack, that's the best comment you've made all day. But the truth of the matter is, I don't know.
He misled people and said when they asked him if he was vaccinated, he says, "Yeah, I'm immunized." So I don't know. He's trying to make it seem like it's a light deal. I'm sorry if I misled you. Blah blah. No, dude, you know what you did. You know what you said. You just need to step up and be held accountable, and that's what they're coming for Tony Romo.
I like one of the tweets that somebody put out is, there are broadcast journalists and there are broadcast apologists. Nance and Romo serving today as Aaron Rodgers' PR team, in contrast with others like Bradshaw.
No, right, because Terry Bradshaw was coming for Aaron Rodgers, basically just saying that
You know how much I
with
follow
it.
American football.
Oh yeah, I know. We'll forgive you for that. But nevertheless, man, it was just kind of something that I figured when you're in that, it's so insulated in that world, you miss out on those kinds of things. Speaking of insulated, and this is totally off, but I don't know if this will even work, Jack. I don't know if y'all saw this video of Laura Ingram floating around. Have y'all seen?
Is it the one of the U?
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why people even give her airtime.
Hey, she may be getting less.
I hope so.
She may be getting less now after this video. If you can.
I refuse to even look at her or anything to do with her, because she's just, honestly, she might think that she's the American person, but she stands for things that America should not.
Man,
stand
listen to this
and
video.
All those woke storylines in so many shows today. I was watching an episode of You where measles came up.
Wait. When did I mention measles?
I don't know. It was on You.
Wait, what was on me? What are you talking about? Right? Is Ray even hearing what I'm saying? I never had the measles.
Was on You.
We never did We never did a measles and vaccine episode. Is this a joke?
I know.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It was on you. It was on you.
I've never had, Raymond, I've never had measles.
She's an
What are you
idiot.
talking about? This is stupid.
It was an episode of a show, Laura.
What's it called?
You. It's called You.
I've never done a show on measles. I just completely give up. We got to get out
It's
of
a
this. I give
show
up.
called You on Netflix.
There's a show called Laura Ingram on Netflix.
Yeah, okay. Explain
this to me. This is
Okay, so
way above my head. 'Cause I've never-
there's a show on Netflix, which is a streaming platform with movies
I
and
know,
shows.
okay.
The show is called You. That's the name of the show.
Uh-huh.
So he was referencing the show to say, hey, that on the show called You, on an episode of You, the measles was brought up. So
And it's Laura Ingram's episode or whatever.
no, it has nothing to do with Laura Ingram. The show is just called You. So when he said on the episode of You, the measles came up, she heard You, meaning that he was talking about, he's talking about me. He's not talking about her. He's talking about the actual show that it's called You. And it obviously went over her head and continuously went over her head because she couldn't get it. And
And she's on national television.
Television, man.
Which is sort of a bit embarrassing.
It is. She's going to be, if she isn't already, she's going to be super embarrassed when she figures out. Look, lady, don't flatter yourself. No, there's not a show called Laura Ingram on Netflix. Are you kidding me? Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Moving on, man. What about this car, man? You gonna buy one of these things or what?
Well, I just want to sort of show this everybody that it really is an interesting, technology has just come so way about the whole thing, but
This is one of the crazy
cars is the best way to put it. Spent a ridiculous amount of money over the years, which I don't do now. I'm quite happy to drive my Kia, but this is a car that's just come out. There's a lot of changes that's going to happen within the motoring world. I do think that electric is going to, the battle between Ford and GM. I was watching an article this morning, 2.2 billion apparently that GM are hoping to go by 2035, real big into the electric model. But just look at this car. I mean, is that a phenomenal looking car?
It looks...
Can you imagine driving down the street? Just driving that. I don't know how many million it is or anything. But I mean, look at the wheels. Look at this.
The wheels are sick. And as I understand, they don't roll like regular wheels. Like you can.
Well, isn't it Elon Musk? He designed a car, or one of these big guys got a car. It's the Apple car. It's the Apple car, and the Apple car doesn't have wheels. It has balls
that it kind of rolls on them.
So it can actually go out, and when you park in the car, it just rolls sideways.
Right. I think this is
to me, I mean, how simple that is how brilliant it is. And then, also, I don't know if you know, but I was watching on one of my car channels the other day that they've got a new type of tire now where everything, look at this, look. Oh, I've got it on mine. But,
see, it's kind of going.
Look, is that's just...
That's crazy.
But there's a new type of tire supposedly that Michelin have got at the moment, and there's no rubber on the tire, it's plastic.
Plastic?
It's like a high-grade plastic. It's like a suspension wheel. So there's no rubber involved in it at all. So it doesn't it can't puncture. It's just absolutely. Here it is. Look to the right. Look. Well, I mean,
that's
and everything's put together. Everything is one piece. So you don't change the tire. You change the whole thing. And they reckon the mileage on these is just ludicrous.
What's the one thing they always say? Don't reinvent the wheel.
Don't exactly. and they have already. They have definitely reinvented the wheel. This is Michelin?
Yeah. Michelin,
it is Michelin.
Michelin are in the forefront of this tyre development, and apparently they've been working on this for like 10 years, but they still don't feel in a comfortable place to release it. And they reckon it's going to revolutionise the way tyres have ever been built.
But it's plastic.
It's basically a high grade. I think it's a high grade plastic.
So we still need oil. Is basically what you're saying.
Well, that's from the powertrain. But I think my personal view is, I think there's always going to be a need for drilling oil.
Oh, of course.
Because I think there's so much that we need in the way of plastics because of laptops, computers. I was watching another article the other day, and they were saying that what's going to happen in time is these things are just going to be so advanced that what you'll do is you'll just take this, you'll plug it into your monitors at work,
and it'll work.
And that'll do it. I mean, and these will, and it's going that way now. I mean, with some of the
essentially
phones that are coming out, I mean, that's what's going to happen. You're just going to get these, and you're going to plug them in, and
that's what iPad is.
That's basically what exactly. That's basically what it is.
You know,
it's a computer.
and that's. I'd like to have some comments from some of the people about what people think about the is it the Z Fold, the Galaxy Z Fold?
Oh, that phone?
Yeah. If anybody's any comments about that, I'd like to.
It looks like a good phone. When it came out, I don't want to get off topic exactly, but when it came out, it was like really messed up. But to my knowledge, they waited 2 years.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
And now it's really good.
That's what I've heard.
So,
but it's bloody expensive.
But I mean, it's literally a tablet in a phone. So I think it's worth it, in my opinion. I don't want.
Who makes it?
Samsung. But what they reckon? Did you know Samsung make a lot of the iPhone parts?
Oh yeah.
But that's something I just can't understand. But apparently the biggest gripe with it is because it's so thick. So if it folds and you fold it up, basically it's very thick. So if you want to put it in your pocket, it's a bit of an issue.
When it folds.
But they reckon for gaming it's good and different things. So you can use it as
it's different for sure.
And with the type of things that I'm trying to get into personally, not just with real estate, but they reckon this is one.
Really good.
And they reckon that this is one of the steps that's going to happen because these things are going to get so powerful that when you get to work, you just plug it in. Why carry a £4 laptop around with you when you can take one of these, plug it into your monitors at work, and more people are working at home now. That no matter where you work, they're working in Starbucks, they're working in, Minuti Cafe, which is my favourite personally. But it just goes to show.
See that. I could definitely see that.
But technology is just coming so way, and then you get, as I said, you get cars that. I like the term that.
Reinventing the wheel.
No, I like the term that Jack calls it when something's really cool. What's the term that you use, Jack? I guess it's a youngster's term to use. It's
awesome.
No. There's another term that he uses. But I mean, when you honestly look at this particular car from Mercedes, I mean, can you get that video back up with the car? I mean, have you seen the back of that car? Just the back of it is just absolutely amazing. It's like I think it's the exhaust system or something. Yeah, here you go. Look. Can you imagine driving down the street and you parked at a traffic light and you're next to that and it's revving up and you get a look at it? I mean, I just think it's so stylish.
Oh, it's not electric.
It's partially electric.
Partially electric, okay.
Yeah. Usually, a lot of people don't understand about electric. It may not have the range, but Formula One cars, they had electric, and that's one of the reasons why they're so fast at acceleration. An electric car with acceleration will burn up any petrol car.
Right.
If it's obviously, designed properly. But when I first had my first electric car, I couldn't believe how quick it was on the acceleration. I mean, you lose the power.
A little volt.
Yeah, you know what? I actually used to enjoy. The only thing I didn't like about that volt was if I was on a long journey to save the electric, you didn't put the air conditioning on, and in Texas, that's not a good idea. So you'd end up driving in a sauna.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I've got to tell you, my gas bills have been they were so low on that.
But to your point, the Formula One's all electric now this year, right? I think.
No.
I thought 2021.
That's Formula E. There's a different one. There's a Formula E.
Okay.
And then there's Formula One. Unless there's been some sort of change.
I know one of them. They were saying that
there's a Formula E championship which is completely electric. But Formula One is basically a hybrid system.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's my understanding anyway.
Well, cool.
So let's move on to the Fannie Mae chief economist.
Man, okay, so this is stuff, of course, that I've been saying. This is nothing new.
Can I just interrupt you on something?
Sure, go right ahead.
I think there's so much hype, and there's people, and this is what I want people to understand, there's so much hype that people, and there's so much misinformation that people want to believe there's going to be a market crunch and hold off because you're going to get yourself a deal. And that's why I thought this particular article that we're going to bring up now is so important to tell people that if you can buy now, buy now. And it's not, we read a comment the other week about, oh, well, that's like giving an alcoholic more beer, asking a real estate agent. Mike Medler from Century 21,
right,
made a comment about it. But the truth of the matter is, I cannot see the housing market. You've said exactly the same thing. We work in the industry. We're not just saying it to put more dollars in our bank account. The truth be known, we make more money, or I do as a real estate agent, when the market's at the bottom.
Right.
Just like I did in 2008. And it's like the big guys, the little people,
right,
act like chickens and get out the fighting ring.
Of course.
But the good agents that are good, what do? They've got we've got the contacts, we've got the financing ready, we've got everything ready to go out there and make a killing.
You got to survive for sure.
But the truth of the matter is, in this market, this is when the chickens get out the boxing ring. This is the time now where people are out there, and when I've seen this article from, Fannie Mae, I just think it's what we've been saying and predicting for the longest time. I think it's an absolutely incredible article because it just backs up what you've been saying, James. Exactly what you said. Can you bring it up, Jack? Because it basically says that now is the time to buy.
It is.
Because the prices are going up, the interest rates are down, but the biggest mistake that people make is they're not purchasing homes for what? For their immediate needs.
Right. The mortgage rates are gonna remain, because they're still historically low.
Right. Well, Fannie Mae say that obviously in time the rates are going to go up.
They are. It's inevitable. It happens that way. Everything is cyclical.
Right.
So it's gonna go up eventually. By the time this time next year, they'll probably be closer to 4%. But they're gonna go up, and the prices of these homes, even though it's still a competitive market, it's not as crazy as it was before. But the price of these homes are going to go up. We were talking the other day about some of this builder that came in, and these home prices of some of these houses because of the size of the lot. We're talking about regular size homes for $700,000 and $800,000 for just a typical regular 2,500 square foot home, $800,000 because of the wideness in the lot or size of the lot or whatever the case is. But they have been pushed up that much because the way that this market has gone. Now, unfortunately, I think they'll probably have to back off of that price for people to be able to afford them. Because your regular person can't afford that stuff.
When we had Tracy in, from
that's what I'm talking about.
Right, we had
that's
Tracy
what I'm talking about.
One of the builders, and we're going to get Tracy on the call in a few weeks. But when I looked at the prices of them homes, I'm like, there's no way I could afford one of them.
Nobody can.
If I could realistically afford that, would I do it? Yes. I mean, you're talking homes. What was the bottom price one? $389 or $399 or something?
Oh no, they were at more than that.
And then the top one was $799.
Were you listening to me 10 seconds ago? I just said this. It was ridiculous. And they're regular homes. That's what I'm getting at. Now you're talking about a big River Oaks kind of, memorial house, okay. But we're talking starter home kind of stuff. That those prices though that were on that list that she brought in,
right?
They were
which was in a
gorgeous
neighborhood.
Yeah, gorgeous.
I've been there. It's a great neighborhood. Beautiful. It's great schools,
all of it,
and everything else. But I mean,
$800,000. That's crazy. It was crazy. I was telling my wife about
and then
it.
the question that I asked her was, what's the difference between an $800 home and a $400,000?
Right.
Well, the frontage of the street,
the lot size. Exactly.
And what was you saying to your wife before
I was telling her about the houses because we always we bought years ago our forever home, and I always tell her, look at the price of these houses now, what they're going for. And I was telling her about that one that she brought in because it was like 2,500 square feet for $700,000.
And I was talking to one of our top agents, Toke over at Toke Properties, who's had an absolutely phenomenal year.
Absolutely.
And she's just closed some really big deals. She closed one last week for $285 million. And she was saying that this year she's only had 4 financed offers for the investors that she works with that were all cash, which I thought was just absolutely nuts.
It's tragic.
It is tragic. It is tragic. It's, but I mean, some of them are really high-end homes, but at the same time, then I get a builder coming in and saying, what you said. And you were right, James. Formula One to go full electric in 2021.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
And that's just unbelievable. That's just because I don't know what they're going to do with Formula E. Because Formula E is a separate world championship, but that's fully electric as well. So what they're going to do, they're going to merge them both. And if anybody wants a really good YouTube channel, Drive Tribe, it's a great YouTube channel.
Oh yeah,
it really is. They're originally from the what are they called? The original. I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, yeah, from the original guys that had a great channel over there. Jeremy Clarkson, Top Gear. That's right. Yeah, I mean they were the best people in the business and still are.
Oh yeah. Well, cool.
Anyway,
let's move on. Oh, here's your chance. Your crypto. We wrap it up with this.
Let's get on to crypto, and I want to bring in Crypto Jack in the back, who's sort of hiding. But Jack talks a lot about the crypto, and I'm thinking to myself, well, me and myself as an old man, I'm missing out on anything here. And I've actually enjoyed doing some of these classes and videos. What time I've got with running a real estate brokerage, and I'm trying to sort of put it together. And it's sort of, for the younger guys like Jack, it's sort of easy to get hold of, but they start talking about,
hey, my wife just had
That's two you've had in a week.
And my mom just
the different things that have, they talk about crypto wallets and such like, and it's a bit like talking, Chinese to an English guy, and that's no offense to any Chinese people out there. But Jack, explain to us, well, first of all, let's just talk about, can you bring up about the evolution of money? Because I thought that was really interesting, because I've started at sort of base level about this. Can you bring up that article that I put in about the evolution of money? Can you get to the graphic that was up there? On one of them, there was a graphic. I don't think it's it's not that one. That's Investopedia. There's another one that I put in. But it really is interesting, talking about the evolution of money. There you go. That'll work. That's just cryptocurrency. There's another one that I put in, which was the evolution. Let me see where it is. But I thought it was real interesting to see how money has evolved. Originally what we did was 2,000 years ago was we had a bartering system. So basically, say we was bartering carrots for a sheep, we'd basically barter, well, so many pounds of carrots or whatever it was, for a sheep. There you go, that's it. So we had we was basically bartering. So a lot of the people were making their money on the land and different things. Well, then what happens if the carrots go bad? And the timing's not right and opportunity's not there. So that was a problem. So then basically what they did is they changed that, and then they moved on to the gold system. Can you just go down a little bit on that article, Jack? Just a little bit. There you go. Just so we're there. There you go. So then it was basically, there was a bartering system, and then went into a commodity money system, which was basically like a gold system. And then we moved on to sort of, there you go. Money's in fact removed difficulties of the baht. So it's basically a commodity money system. So in fact has evolved in response to the needs of various stages of economic growth. And then we had a metallic money, which is money made from a metal that's called metallic money, which, could be gold, silver, bronze, or whatever it was. So we held that value, and then we'd basically have a price, and hopefully there's a value on a particular product. And then, of course, we get onto the paper money system where, we have the dollar and such like. And I mean, the way that we've contracted business over time has really sort of changed, and people need to sort of, see that so they understand so we all understand where, crypto's going and where crypto's going. So we've basically had paper money. And then from paper money, which people could just print and print and print and print, then we go on to credit money, which is basically, where we are on credit cards. So we've got, which has basically developed into, now we're at the point where we've got, electronic money. Can you go down just a little bit, Jack? I'm going through this real quickly. So now we've got crypto money. Everybody's going, well, what's crypto? Well, to be perfectly honest, crypto is now at so many different levels. And it's been interesting because I've been sort of, Jack's been sort of, preaching to the guy at the back of the pew at the church, if you want to, about this crypto money. I'm like, well, this, that, and the other. But the more you get into it, the more it really fascinates me. And you've got Bitcoin, and then you've got Ethereum, which is also powered with other systems. And I want to sort of bring Crypto Jack in a bit. I've nicknamed him that, but not because, obviously he spent some time on this, and I've been sort of trying to learn from different sources. I go to a system which is called I Am Academy, and I hope Jack puts, my link in there so people want to join. I was very, how could I put this about I Am Academy? I was honestly very wary about the system. There's a lot of different scams out there and everything, but to be perfectly honest, it's given me a bit more structure in life, because every morning I get up now, listen to my videos. I listen to videos at home rather than wasting my time on some of the stuff on even YouTube, to be perfectly honest. But, people that are, so-called experts in the industry. But to be perfectly honest, I've actually been very impressed. It's given me a little bit more structure with different things, and it's given me a lot of insight, whether it be trading stocks or whether it be trading currencies, which I've sort of started to get a bit of enjoyment with. But this crypto thing really fascinates me, because you've got people out there that are really making a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And it's just amazing to see how it's developing. And I really think that, they give you insights. They just developed a new system which is called Swipe Coin, which is really off the market. It's off the scope of even what I thought was possible with this particular thing, which is, I don't want to give too much away because it's not my job to give it away, but it's that in itself has just opened my eyes even more. But and I want to sort of dwell on Jack, and I feel this would be a good subject, to be perfectly honest, to talk about just in brief. So Jack, because he obviously understands it, can explain to us, hopefully, not too long, about the different types of, because there's Bitcoin and that's it. But, Ethereum, which, as Jack said a long time ago, is the way to go. There's some systems like with crypto wallets. I mean, I didn't know what a crypto wallet was till possibly last week. And, it's sort of so difficult to find out what they are, and it's so complicated. There's a lot more to it, just like being a real estate agent. is not just a case of filling in a contract. You know, you've got to have a strategy and everything else. And that's exactly the same with this, you know, crypto coin thing. And some of it's completely above my head. So I thought, while we've got this, I'm going to corner Jack, to be perfectly honest, and just try and get him to sort of explain in just as easy terms as he possibly can. Here I am pulling up my notes. So Jack, can you just explain to us, obviously with Bitcoin and Ethereum, how some of the, first of all, what's a crypto wallet? In brief terms, tell us what a crypto wallet is. Before we get into this, I just want to sort of say to everybody, we are not an investment company. We are not endorsed by any of these companies. All I'm trying to do is to share a bit of
some
knowledge
information,
to people. These are just our opinions. This is not, we're not endorsing any system. So Jack, in layman's terms, first of all, tell us the difference, what a crypto wallet is.
So with like a traditional wallet that you guys have, right? When you have $1, that dollar is in your wallet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not in circulation.
Which is $1 of value.
Yeah. So no, I mean, if you have a paper dollar, it's in your wallet.
Right.
If you have a crypto wallet, like your 1 ETH isn't in your wallet. It's still on the chain. It's just that ETH, that specific token, is linked to that wallet.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? So imagine if all the dollars were like in a bank's hands, and then when you have $1, the bank just knows that you own that dollar instead of that dollar physically being in your pocket.
Got it.
So that's what a wallet
Which essentially is how the banks work anyways, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
They give you the perception that it's in your
account, right.
But if you have like a hard dollar and you have it under a mattress, then
it's yours. You got it.
But even with a cold wallet per se, where it could be unlinked, where it's not undetectable, but no one knows what it is.
But one of the things I just want to do,
it's like a mattress.
You know, that's one of the reasons why governments and banks are scared stiff of this.
Of course,
because it's decentralized. Oh, correct, Jack?
Yeah.
So, are any of these coins centralized, or are they all decentralized?
I mean, it depends on what's centralized to you. If 80% of the stakeholders own the coin, is it really decentralized?
But that's where the value of crypto is, really, isn't it? In the people that are in.
Yeah. So I mean, the real question is, it's not decentralized by nature, because if somebody holds more than a majority stake in something, is it really decentralized? But at the same time, a lot of people say it's better that way, because then you don't have an entity, say, centralizing it. I would rather have 50 people worth $1 million control something than have a government who can just make their net worth $50 million control something.
Agreed.
We agreed. And everybody around this table is obviously agreed on that.
Yeah, so it's like, it's decentralized, but is it really decentralized? Not right now.
All right, now before I get into the next topic, I'm going to repeat what I said. We are not endorsing any system, but what I'm doing is trying to learn as the old man with Jack's knowledge, okay? But with crypto wallets, you know, I mean, I've registered for one called Coinbase. Right. See, that's how educated I am. I can't even pronounce the word.
Yeah,
but what are some of the ones that you personally?
I don't use, the only wallet I have is a cold storage wallet, and it's a physical device. It's like a USB.
Okay.
I can show it to you guys.
So if I wanted to get a cold wallet, how do I do that?
Buy it.
And does that make that more yours, or is just you just carry it around without having the?
What do you mean?
What's the advantage of having the cold wallet versus the other wallet?
The money can't be withdrawn or deposited without having the physical device connected to.
Gotcha.
So like someone could hack into my wallet and see I'm worth like $1 million, but they can't take that money out.
Unless you got your
now, if you're in an exchange, all they have to do is get your email and maybe your phone number, and all they have to do is change that information in your account to send it to whatever phone they need to, and then they can withdraw your satoshis. But like with this, like you have to have this device plugged into your computer for it to work.
Gotcha.
Okay, now if I have this cold wallet and I want to buy, for example, and I'm hoping to go into this a little bit because it's so confusing and I'll be honest, above my head. like with an altcoin, can you, first of all, before we get to that, can you explain to people the difference between like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins?
So there's 3 types of coins. There's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then there's shit coins.
Which are altcoins.
Yeah,
right.
but we like everybody. I'm not. It's like it's literally called a shit coin. That's just what people call them. I'm not like trying to be funny.
Because the market is flooded with them now.
Yeah, and
there's
it's
a
like
lot of them.
like you have like I don't even know. We can look it up. Where's my mouse? How many cryptocurrencies exist? There are more than 7,000.
7,000? Oh my goodness.
So like you would have to find out of those 7,000 whatever you think is the next Bitcoin, and the truth is less than 100 of them are going to make it.
I can believe that.
So that's why we call them shit coins. But yeah, so Ethereum is just. I mean, I guess that kind of answers the question.
Well, not really. And the reason why I say that is because some of these wallets are on the back of Ethereum, correct?
Yeah.
So does that add value to Ethereum?
I mean, it's just how you want to do your business. You don't have to use Ethereum.
So with your cold wallet, because I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of a cold wallet before, even with the people I've done, because I'm not at that stage yet. I'm still going through the basics, and obviously I'm not very knowledgeable.
Well, cold storage is more of a tool to prevent certain entities from engaging in your finances. It's a good way to put it, if you guys get what I'm saying.
Okay, so
the IRS.
There's.
So, being the epileptic that I am, I've just had a brain fart. So basically, Ethereum backs some of the wallets, correct? The crypto wallets.
Ethereum is like a website or a WordPress template. You can build things on Ethereum. So you can use Ethereum's network, like their nodes, their blockchain, to service your own token.
Okay. Now, some of the crypto wallets that have crossed my path, because I'm not giving any financial advice, because all this is new to me. Is one's called MetaMask, one's called Trust Wallet.
Yeah, I have both of those.
Okay.
MetaMask is cool, but it's a Google extension, so I don't like having my net worth in a Google extension. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It doesn't feel right. Now, it's only as safe as you let it be. So, like, if you're a person who's ripping UFC fights every weekend, not that I do that, I definitely do that. You don't want to be clicking random links and get a virus on your computer, because that's how you lose your net worth in your Google extension. The MetaMask one I like, but like you said, it runs on Ethereum, so I have like $5,000 in my MetaMask wallet right now, but I can't pull it out because I have to deposit Ethereum in there. I don't want to deposit Ethereum into my wallet to withdraw the money, so I'm just gonna wait till it's like $50,000 and then I'll consider it. So I'm kind of forcing myself to like hold it. But
and where does, another word that I heard of the other day, where does Pancake Swap come into this?
That's a totally different thing. You're talking about wallets, and now you're talking about exchanges.
Okay, so Pancake Swap is basically, if I want to, say I've got Ethereum and I want to buy a shitcoin, as you call it, that's where I'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, they have more. Like Pancake Swap is like anybody can go up there and hook their tokens up and sell it to you. Whereas Coinbase, you have to apply.
So basically, I'm buying them from individuals.
So Pancake Swap is like the flea market, basically.
It's literally like a flea market for cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And then Coinbase is like going to Walmart. Like all those products in Walmart, you don't just walk up there and start stocking it. Like you go to Walmart, you talk to them, you're like, hey, this is what I want in there, and then they work out a price with you, blah, blah, blah. Pancake Swap is, like you said, flea market. You go in there and
open up and start selling. Yeah.
See, he's started to make sense of a lot of this as well. So, have you ever used Zapier 5?
No.
No, that was one of the things that sort of came about. So, there's another. How did that come up? There's something called the Polygon Network.
Yeah, the Polygon Network.
What's that?
Just another like Ethereum-based network. They all do like different things. I don't know a lot about it.
So tell me a little bit, which we spoke about earlier on. One of the things that fascinated me was you, as an investor, can go into a crypto, and then you can actually lend money into that network, correct?
Yeah. Here, I'll show you those.
And some of the, like I said to you, James, you didn't know about this, did you?
Mm-mm.
But some of the interest rates that you can earn from this are just insane. I seen one for 484%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but
even 28% is
but
crazy.
with farming, you
is it called? Is that what he called?
Well, there's like different forms of lending. So see at the top here, you have pooling, farming, lending, staking, and this one's a news app. I don't know what that's about, but I don't know if you guys know what impermanent loss is.
I've not got a clue.
I could explain it, but honestly, just read it. It's probably gonna be better than me.
What's it called?
Impermanent loss. It's when you just read it. It's kind of hard to explain. But like with stuff like this, you're susceptible to impermanent loss.
Now, why is liquidity so important? Because that's what they're trying to do to build the coin, isn't it? That's why they're lending money.
You need liquidity for anything to function. Because especially in finance, like what is finance? It's the exchange of money or like money flow, cash flow.
So if the liquidity is up, then they will pay.
They'll pay you more
to get it.
Yeah, because there's more people using it. There's more money flowing through it. So, and the thing with like DeFi, right, or decentralized finance per se, who traditionally lends the money is the bank. So when you remove the bank out of the picture, and
that's exactly the point.
Yeah, and you just have
where I was doing this class and I was learning, and I'm like.
And you have like thousands of people pooling millions of dollars. Like for the one I'm in, Trader Joe, it's like the one that everyone's been talking about. That's the only reason I did it. You can look at how much money is staked. So there's $259 million that thousands of people just got together and collected.
Put it in. Okay.
And let me
and it shows you the fees that are paid out and everything. And like this is what the bank would be taking, but what this does is it allows the people to make the money.
And that's why I wanted to bring this up on the podcast, and I hope we clip this, Jack, because this is the nuts and bolts of the game changer.
Yep,
it is.
Now,
this is where it's going.
This is really the nuts and bolts. I mean, no disrespect, Jack, but it's like from my standpoint, where I've seen it done a particular way over these years. And, Jack's mentioned, but it's decentralized. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what I mean? But when you actually get in there and you're like, it's like getting into an old car, you lift the hood up, you start taking the car apart and you think, combustion engine. But then when you get in and you see this and you see how it's going to change, I think this is going to change the political landscape.
Yeah,
because of banks, you're taking that power away from banks that have controlled us over the years. And it's like, I'm not going to say who it is, but somebody participated in a debt management program at one part of their life, and these banks that were charging 21% interest rates for the bank, as soon as this person went into this debt management program, some of them banks lowered it down to 1.9%.
Because it can happen.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you see what Jack just brought up on the screen, and these people who are people that show an interest in this, and that's what you can get. Why would you want to even invest in stocks?
I mean, imagine buying from a mortgage off of this. You know what I mean? Imagine getting your home mortgage.
There was a guy the other day that I seen online, bought his first house.
I can see
investing in crypto.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Cash.
And kind of to that impermanent loss piece of it, if I just had to guess, just like anything else, if you're trying to build up your liquidity, when you put your money in and the value of the coin changes, then you could end up losing money.
No.
Even though
with every gain, there's actually more of a chance of losing.
And it's also because the way like farming or not staking, because they're all different. The way like farming works, which is where you see like these 80,000% APYs, is there's a set amount of rewards given to the borrower or the liquidity providers.
Gotcha.
And so when people start removing that liquidity, they're kind of taking some of your liquidity as well, unless you take it before them. So the impermanent loss kind of leads to like you, again, losing money. And with traditional staking, say for lending $100, I get $10 back.
Right.
Say $10 goes to like 1 cent. I still have the $10. But with farming, you don't get those $10.
Back.
You just lose the physical.
I got you.
Like token, I guess.
That makes sense.
Right.
So it could be a risk.
It is. And look, we're not
advisors.
We're not advisors. Yeah. All I'm saying is, from an old man like me, I can't tell you how much it opened my eyes up. Because I'm honestly thinking to myself, this is going to change the complete financial system.
Absolutely.
And it's going to put the financial system back in the hands of, hopefully, the little guys in the corner.
Yeah.
And as soon as Jack made a comment the other week, he said, but I don't want corporate America to get involved in this.
Sure.
Corporate America at this point, they're starting to get involved in this.
It's inevitable.
But we need to keep, honestly, we need to keep them out.
We just need to become more educated.
And that's the issue. And that's why I highly recommend to everybody, there's different systems out there. Do Jack, if you can put the link below some of these videos, it's
in there.
Got Stephen the Olympian ears.
Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly, it's opened my eyes.
Yeah.
And from a point of view of me, I mean, I don't mind disclosing. I'm 61 years old.
You're not young?
Oh, but I feel old. People say 61 years young, and I think, no, I feel old. I've always wanted to be in a position where I would love to retire, but then I hear about people that retire that die as soon as they retire. So, I really want to keep on working till the day I jump into the, and I'm burnt to hell, whatever you want to call it. But basically, the truth of the matter is when you see this on how it's changing, and I really believe in getting a portfolio of different things.
Sure.
You've got, because things change.
Absolutely.
But if people get in on this and can understand it now, at the beginning, and the other part is, and I'm really pushing Jack on this because I know he's got his feelings on all this, but the truth of the matter is, what's a token then is a Bitcoin, correct, Jack? When they refer to a token, is a token Bitcoin?
Is just like the piece of like tangible to our knowledge, right? With currency, you have to have a tangible thing, which would be the dollar or a coin. So a token is just what they say in place of, because there's nothing there. Like when you own a Bitcoin, you just own a bunch of numbers on a network. That's really what it is. So like they have to have a name for that. So
and the part that comes back to me is, and this goes back to when I went to college, one of the huge factors of value, as in monetary value, all right, is the amount that's available.
Right.
Bitcoin, you've got 21 million max. One of the crypto sites is advertising, saying that every 4 years the amount of crypto of Bitcoin, for example, is halved. Okay. But then you've also got these other players, that are coming into it now that I think is interesting.
Yeah, but like I said, like a couple of months ago, this is like one of those assets where when you die, unless you take care of your asset, it literally dies with you. So like this is an asset that is literally diminishing the supply naturally, whether you like it or not. And I think they average like, I don't even remember the number anymore.
So could you ever leave this to a family member?
Yeah, but if you die and you don't, then what happens?
Like if you don't give them the access.
Yeah,
so for instance, if something happened to Jack and he's got his cold wallet.
Yeah, so I have a cold wallet with $1 million, but I'm going down 59 and I get T-boned and I'm dead. And I don't give you guys access to that cold wallet, it's gone. It's just gone.
And that's a great shame.
It's a shame, but it's like, just be prepared.
Right.
I mean, what's the solution to that? You prepare yourself for it. But I mean, yeah, like right here, there's $1 billion, almost $1.5 billion.
And that's the part that blew me away.
Yeah.
When you start to get to these sites that show the volume and the amount of money that's being invested in this. I mean, look at this today. Total supply, look.
That was in October.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about...
It's $3 billion.
Is that just unbelievable?
And then it shows you how much is borrowed.
Some of them that are in the trillions, isn't it?
Yeah, $2 trillion was borrowed. And the thing about this is like there's no one behind the computer like saying, okay, Jack needs his 30% APY. It's automatic. It's all part of it's computed into the system
already.
So if this system lends you $5,000, it's automatically paying me out because that's my money that I'm lending you.
$1.8 trillion.
Yeah, and I found this back in like probably like June or July, and all my friends are starting to get onto it too. So this is. And here's the thing where we go about the shit coins, because this, just like Ethereum, how Ethereum is run with a bunch of other coins, this Trader Joe coin, which is like the decentralized finance coin, is actually run under a different network called Avalanche.
So you can't get that in Coinbase or anything.
So Avalanche,
no, but that's part of the problem, because where I'm coming in, like
105, let's go.
Because look,
what was it at?
I found this at $30.
Really?
Yeah, but you see, that's part of the problem that I find difficult is because what happens is some of the classes I'm on, they're recommending different altcoins. I'm not using shitcoin, but they're altcoins.
Well, that's why they're shitcoins, because like you can tell me like James could be like, yo, I just found Tron. This is the next big coin, blah, blah. And then I can look at it and I'm like, it's a piece of shit. I don't want that.
Yeah,
so that's why they call it shitcoin.
These people are doing their research on it and they're saying, well, I think, there's but, get into it, get out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're just trading it. They're not actually doing too much on the owning part, but they'll tell you whether you hold on it or such like. But they're educators. They're not, they'll say that before they do it. But the truth of the matter is, it's so complicated to even get somewhere where you can trade these coins, because you've got to take your money or your Bitcoin or Ethereum from one system to the next system.
But that's really easy. So you have to look at it. I think you're looking at it wrong, because say, for example, you want a cannabis stock.
Right.
It's not in Robinhood. It's not in Fidelity. It's not in trading or whatever the other exchange brokers are. What do? You're done. There's no other way to purchase those things. At least with crypto, if you want an asset, push comes to shove, you can go to PancakeSwap and get that asset. You can go to some exchange that's illegal in the United States, just VPN to a different country.
But that's the thing that I find so confusing. I mean, to even get into PancakeSwap is hard.
And it's hard, but it's hard for a reason, because like you have to understand what you're doing. Like I said, you're going into a flea market with thousands of like textbook definition shit coins. Like, and when I say that, it's like these coins are literally on the market to take your money. No other reason. Like these are pyramid schemes that like Squid Game's token. Did you guys hear about that?
No, there's a coin for that.
So there's a Squid Game. Somebody made a Squid Game token. Do you know? Have you heard about Squid Game?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so they made a token for it, and it started getting published on the news. Like NBC did a thing about it because it went up to like $2,800. The guy who made the code for the token changed the code so you couldn't sell it.
Are you serious?
So people are watching it go from like $5 to $2,800. They think they're millionaires. Hold on, if we can just find the video. And this guy was live, and he watched the entire thing get run.
And there's nothing you can do about that? What was the name of there was even a big lawsuit on one of the cryptos where
So like this is why I tell my friends not to use PancakeSwap, because like you get tokens that do shit like this.
You sell this coin to, so
the fully but obviously the real one is not. So the market cap is $2.168 trillion.
Boom.
And now the market.
And he just right there. You just saw him cash out the entire network.
That's what that is? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, look at that candle. So like you can see it like building up, and then just boom.
Squid
and like
Game.
I don't know if you saw how fast it happened. Like,
rewind it again. Everything.
$1.68 trillion.
So
and now,
however many people just lost all their money that quickly. So like that's why I don't tell people to use PancakeSwap, because it's like you can upload tokens like that and no one. It's decentralized.
So
There's
it's
no
like going
to check you,
like you said,
SEC
the flea market, because that at that flea market, that vendor could be there this week and not be there ever again, ever.
So at least with like Coinbase, those tokens are vetted. Like So
let me ask you a question.
Coinbase has like
if
their
you're
own
trading
trust
that,
they
you can short it though, can't you?
No, because the guy who made the network stopped people from selling it. So to short, you have to be able to sell.
So he built up the value.
Yeah.
Everybody thought they were getting rich.
Yeah, and then because you couldn't sell, obviously when you don't sell something, what's going to happen? It's going to increase in value,
right?
Because more people are buying it.
And then
Yeah.
Wow.
So again,
people will find a way
and the part that fascinates me about it, to be perfectly honest, is, all right, I have so much admiration for the likes of Warren Buffett and, a lot of people that have been in the business for a long time within billions of dollars. Do you understand?
Sure.
But at the same time, because the technology is changing so much, do they really get it?
Well, when you're that rich, you don't have to. I was hearing somebody talk about this the other day. It was like, what is a venture capitalist's goal? Like a hedge fund manager, what's their goal? It's not to make money. It's to preserve the wealth of those people.
The people.
So they're not looking to like double or triple the money. They're just looking to keep the
value. Keep you happy,
so if
right.
you're 100 million now, you want to be worth 100 million in 10 years. You don't want to be worth 10 million in 10 years.
Right.
So that's like their goal. So they're rich, they stay rich, and they have people to help them stay rich. So they're not really looking, they don't have to get it.
In all fairness, what you're saying is what happened with GameStop, what happened with, was it GameStop?
And AMC.
AMC.
Okay, since we went there, have you been hearing the rumble?
Oh, dude, AMC's about to rip again, I'm telling you.
Bro, I'm about to get back in there.
Yeah, I could pull up the chart and show you, it's going to rip. It's going to go
on, show us the
stupid.
chart.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get back in there, man. I'm just like, ooh, should I get in there?
Yeah, I would. I don't have any money in a brokerage account. That's the only reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at mine now. I'm probably gonna get in there and just hold it.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Oh shit.
What time chart was that? God, it's all over the place. What time chart's that on, Jack? One day.
This is the daily. So This is why I think AMC is gonna. Oh shit! Can't see anything on this. So this is why I think it will rip. Because it's doing like this whole shebang where it's just like accumulating. So at the end of this triangle is when I would probably purchase. Like whenever this. Especially, and another thing that's going to be a catalyst for this as well is the infrastructure bill that just passed.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the video about the president or somebody on YouTube about AMC saying how much he appreciates all the people that have been buying AMC shares because it's kept them in business?
Oh yeah, and no, that saved AMC, and it's like
it did,
and now they're because. Okay,
he even attended a meeting with the people that...
I remember this specifically because when AMC went from like, I think it was like $8 to $16, they doubled their market cap. And what AMC did is they sold like 2 million of their shares back to the exchange to provide more liquidity for themselves. And that's what kept them in business. So if it wasn't for that, AMC would literally have gone bankrupt.
They'd be out of business and gone bankrupt. That's exactly what he said.
So yeah, I mean, I'd give it a couple more, like another month, and this will probably get going here. Or it could literally happen in the next couple of days. That's what's happening right here. So it could be trying to rip through.
And you're on what, 1 day time scale?
Yeah.
I mean, look how much that's gone up and down. That's
even on like a weekly, which is like even more bullish. I would get into this if I had money. And I mean, from like, see, this right here, because this is how I saw it. I saw it on my Twitter feed. This right here is the exact same as this right here. It's just zoomed out because of the gains. But from like this to here, it ripped 300, 400. It ripped 400%. So from 400% right here, if it were to rip 400% again.
Now.
Wow. I'm gonna have to get in. I've been hearing about it for sure.
One of the things I just want to touch base on. This is one of the reasons why there's systems like this out there, in my opinion, why people don't want to go to work.
Shouldn't go to work.
There you go. See, why should you even bother getting out of bed when you can do this for a couple of days if you really know what you're doing?
Yeah, this is true.
The only problem is like with
you need
stuff,
money to start. I mean,
well, you need money to start, and the government makes it harder for you to be successful this way with capital gains and all that. Which is understandable.
But that's one of the other reasons why it's going to push everything into crypto.
Well, they have capital gains on crypto. It's just we know ways to avoid that.
Jack.
But
I mean, honestly, when I started doing these classes, he was one of my biggest proponents to it. Oh, you can do this, you can do that, you can do that. And I'm like, no, I'm getting this because it's just the way I learn.
Right.
Okay. But I've got to tell you, since I've been doing it, it's so nice to do something else apart from real estate.
Oh, yeah. Kind of takes you away from the monotony.
It gets me up in the morning. Being epileptic is not easy getting up in the morning because of the drugs that you're on. At night time, rather than wasting my time on YouTube, I'm doing something which I find constructive, which is learning about not just this, but, you know, trading currencies and such like.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's just been, I've really enjoyed it.
Well, like
it's invigorated the American dream as far as I'm concerned.
Well, like I said, it's like, well, the American dream is not happening through crypto.
Well, it's now the American nightmare. It's officially the American nightmare.
Believe it or not, the third world countries are going to be the ones that benefit from this.
Oh, I agree with that.
Because Portugal, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Portugal is, it's like if you're under the age of 21, it's like you have cheaper housing or something, no capital gains.
Really?
You don't even have to apply for a visa to move there. They're letting you just move. It's like all this stuff to promote people to come there.
To back up what he said, when I log on to the IM Academy, okay, there's people on there from Nigeria, Kenya, Australia, London, all over the place.
Sure.
You know, and there's like 3,000 people on these calls, and these are education calls. And that in itself is, impressive to me.
I'm still flabbergasted about GameStop too. Oh my goodness.
But I mean, when you look at, what's the lending side of it called, Jack? What do you call that?
Decentralized finance. DeFi.
That's right. That's what he mentioned a minute. Yeah, the DeFi
Decentralized
fund.
finance.
You know when you lend money to these?
Yeah.
What's that called? Farming.
It's just providing liquidity because there's like 100 different ways.
When you can lend money to some of these and it's paying these interest rates.
Yeah.
And when you take your money to a bank, what are you getting? 1%, 1.5?
Like 0.1,
please.
Yeah, you're getting like 0.05.
If you're lucky, you're getting 1%.
My mother died. All right, we had to sell a house to pay. This is in Europe, to pay for her residential care. And it just so happens that the money's in a bank just because it's easy to pay for her residential care. And I think they're paying like 0.05%, that I can't take it out.
And the thing is, like,
it's her money. I'm just the fiduciary.
And what the bank is doing too in that instance, when you put your money in a savings account, they're redistributing that money.
Right.
And then that profit that they get from the interest,
making money on the spread.
Yeah, and on that interest, they're only paying you 0.5%. Like, go get lost, dude. Like, that's just not how we do it around here.
Well, because of the laws, and I'm fiduciary, and it's her account and her money.
No, but like from the bank's aspect, it's like they're taking your money, they're lending it, and then they're giving you breadcrumbs for it. It's not.
And that's why I wanted to bring this up on here, because it's just, it's just been absolutely amazing. Is it CoinGecko is a good site to...
Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever website you're comfortable using. I think CoinGecko is just... Isn't it just stuff? Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, it's just like the cap rates and stuff like... But it says, look, it's like, honey, look, you look at these numbers.
I use CoinMarketCap. I like it more.
What's that?
CoinMarketCap.
CoinMarketCap.
This is all preference. I mean, it's whatever you use.
But the part that I find interesting with this is, look at these numbers, James. Bitcoin, look what we're talking about. Ethereum. Look at the market caps. Look at the volume.
I can't even count that high.
Yeah.
Perhaps you should have went to school or math a bit more.
Man, that's...
are these numbers just off the chart? And what is it, Dogecoin or Dogecoin, where it is in the top 10? Is that just amazing? Look at the volumes that we're talking about.
Shiba is fighting. I think Shiba's dunzos.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on its way down.
It had its run.
When I told you about that wallet thing, I think it was like right here. somewhere over here or right here.
Oh,
yeah. I put a bruh on there.
I believe, honestly, the way to sort of just there's different trading styles. Like I said to you the other day, you get in, you get out, scalpers, and then you get the day traders, and then you get the swing traders, and then you get the long-term traders. That's basically the 4 different types. I really think with this, the best thing to do is get in and get out. Just the money you can make in such a short time is just, unbelievable when you look at, like I told you with real estate, when it's a volatile market and the prices are down, what happens?
Oh, yeah.
As real estate agents, we make more money.
That's when you got to make hay.
Avalanche one has been a real game changer for me.
Oh, yeah. If you got in at 30, you won on that deal, man. Man, I'm telling you right now, if I had gotten in GameStop when I saw GameStop at $2,
and you'd have held it too,
bro, you'd be looking at a millionaire. Because I was gonna buy a bunch.
Some GameStop at $2, but it wasn't anything. I didn't buy the quantity that perhaps I should have done.
Well, I mean, hey, even if you bought one share at $2, you're 10. Not even, you're 100xing the money.
Easy 100.
Yeah, I'll take 100x any day.
Exactly.
All I can say is I'm very conservative. That's all I'm going to say.
But my thought was GameStop, these fools going out of business. Nope. Nice.
Yo, shout out to Deep effing Value. I don't know if you guys know who that guy is. He's the one who started that whole thing. It's just crazy.
Really?
Yeah. He and I'll show you like the video he put out.
It was him.
Yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy. Y'all should like watch these videos about like how he found it out and everything. It's crazy. So look,
what's up, everybody? You may have heard me mention in a separate video or on the live stream that sometimes my decisions are based on feel. That it's really difficult to explain like why I bought or didn't buy a certain stock. In this video, I hope to show you what I mean by feel. All right. So let's say I'm looking at a stock, right? Let's just pick a random one, Penn National Gaming, okay? Ticker PENN. Let's say I'm looking at that company and I'm not quite sure whether or not I should buy the stock, right? What I'll do is when I'm unsure, I'm going to refer to my trusty Uno deck, okay? My Uno deck. And I maintain 2 piles at all times for times like this where I might be a little bit unsure what I should do. So what I'll do is in the first pile, when I'm drawing, I got to draw from the first pile first. So I'll show you the cards here. This is just numbers, all right? It's just numbers in this first pile, okay? 2, 4, 6, 8. In this case, there's odd numbers in an Uno deck, but the odds are for the suits, okay? I like to keep my life easy, keep it simple. I'm just working with even numbers. So I just draw a card, keep it real easy. And we'll just say 6. Okay, so I'm going to be buying 6,000 shares of Penn, right? Hold on. There's a second deck you got to draw from. Okay? Now, so this is the question now. 6,000 shares of Penn. But now there's some additional variables we need to take into account. I'm going to draw from the second Uno deck here. And I'm just going to show you all the different cards that are in this deck so you can see the different possible outcomes of this decision process. So the first is this. You know what this means. If I'm drawing this card, it means it's just telling me don't buy it, move on to the next one, right? Simple stuff. Then there's a couple of these type of cards like +2, +4. It's just saying just buy an extra 2,000 or an extra 4,000 shares. That's all that's saying. Real simple stuff, right? Then we get to this. Should I buy a pen? Outlook not so good. You just keep on going.
And he also, this is the guy, y'all should read up on him. He's pretty crazy, but he had to testify.
My wife Caroline and I were thrilled that I had an income and benefits.
Was like very
about his money.
My job was to help develop
about the whole GME thing, because he had to testify he wasn't insider trading. And so he was like, yo, I literally just went onto like a website, saw that the open interest was stupid high, and I decided to go all in on it. And they were like, "You weren't insider trading." He's like, "I'm just a retail
insider."
Investor.
Who?
Yeah.
What? Come on. I'm.
Does he ever work? Has he ever worked for GameStop or whatever?
No, he like so the I like the stock right here. That's just what he says. He's like, I like the stock. Like I didn't choose it for any other reason than I like the stock. So,
bro,
that's like the joke now.
I don't blame him because when I looked at it, No other reason. I was like, well, let me check out GameStop because everything's going digital. PlayStation was coming out; they were doing a digital platform. You had the hard copy, a hard version. So let me just see what they are because the one at Baybrook had closed down.
Yeah,
just happened to look. I was like, nah, they
I was
probably
down in
got
Lake
business.
Jackson yesterday. I was so proud to see the GameStop open.
It was still.
So the reason I brought him up is because his thesis behind GameStop is it'll never go away because people will always want the hard copy, just like. Some bookstores, they'll always be there. And so even though it's obsolete, it's still a business that has to exist. And so, I mean, that is just textbook conviction pulling through. He flipped like $50,000 into $5 million or something like that. $8 million.
Wow. I would have been a millionaire, Steve. They probably gone all in. At $2 a share?
Yeah.
I would have been a millionaire if I invented the light bulb.
Well, cool, man.
Anyway, I think it was actually a good show today.
It was, man.
Good show.
Good talk, man.
And hopefully, Jack will be back. But I want to thank everybody who listened to Jack today for that. That's some good talk.
Absolutely.
But anyway, everybody have a good week. There'll be some links below for people to click on if they want to. If they want to learn more, if you want to contact James for the loan, please take a look at the conversation regarding Fannie Mae. Don't wait, don't hold on, nothing's crashing.
It is not.
It is not crashing.
Do it today. Don't wait.
How long ago did we say that about the real? We said it like.
It's been a while.
I told everybody, but everybody,
do it today.
But go do it. Go fill that application form. James got a great app for you to fill in.
Absolutely.
If you have a real estate question, contact Century 21. We're on Google and all the other places and Instagram. So we look forward to seeing you all. Have a good week. Take care.
Take care.
Thank